Hi, I'm Pravesh Shalwani of Newsday, and this is Feed Me, the scoop on the Long Island dining scene. Today, we're in Huntington, where Alan Gauthier has hung up his gloves and moved from the boxing ring to the kitchen. From there, we head to Tobay Beach for seafood with a view. Then, we visit a hot dog truck that's returned from a 10-year hiatus. And finally, finish up in Mineola with a buttoned-up burger. First up, Babalu, a tiny restaurant in the heart of Huntington.
I crave the satisfaction of watching people eat my food. That's what makes me happy. Eating is the last thing that everyone has to do. And whether you like each other or not, as people, everyone has to sit down and enjoy a meal. So if you can do that and enjoy a good meal at a table and bring people together, what's more to ask for? That's kind of the way I look at it. Just because it's good food and doesn't mean it can't be healthy and help you out in some kind of way.
And that's why you got into cooking, because you didn't want to just be eating protein shakes and...
Exactly. Doing a Cuban sandwich.
Is this traditional? Is this
I tell people that it's not traditional, but I also don't want it to be. Boxing, I mean, I've been an athlete ever since I was pretty much 2 years old. I mean, this is my father when he was young. So, the timeline into what led to where I am now. And my father has been in martial arts his whole life as well. My grandfather was a professional fighter come high school. My father said yes and decided to teach me, and happened to fall in love with it. So it kind of ran in the family. I went to one of my fights a little while ago, and one of the guys that I train with, he's like, listen, you have to have the long pickles. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll have the long pickles. And they don't make long pickles in stores that I would be happy with, so here we are making our own pickles. Some things we keep simple, other things we don't. But then as far as the ham, I get imported Serrano ham.
Look at the color on that bad boy.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of turned pro in 2012. Within that time, then I was at a crossroads in my boxing career because it's a tough sport, and I decided to go to culinary school while I was still fighting, and did that full time. Led me down that route.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your fighting weight anymore, right?
No, exactly. That's the one thing I don't have to. Now I'm just trying not to become the overweight chef. I grew up on this food. It's simple. It just makes you happy. Both my grandfathers actually used to be chefs and own their own restaurants back in the city, back in the day. So it's kind of funny. It skipped the generation, the cooking, but now it's ended up with me.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it works.
Your parents are like, no way am I doing that. What path are we going down next here?
What path? We are going to go down for once, the Spanish path. We're gonna do a traditional rice, black beans with fennel. So this is our roast pork, house marinated, turmeric, cumin, Mediterranean, European spices. I do, I guess somewhere between a pilaf and a traditional Spanish rice.
Now tell me if I'm giving people too much.
That's perfect right there. Simple, but effective.
There we go.
The worse I feel, the happier it makes me. I don't know why, but
you're a glutton for punishment.
pretty much, exactly. So yeah, I think it's one of the best sports to teach a person about themselves and give them the discipline to kind of just go for what they want. I said I was going to be a professional fighter, and I did. I said I wanted to own my own restaurant, and luckily I do. It's just you against you, and you wake up every day trying to be better than you were the day before. And that's what we try and do in life too.
Wow, that smells so good. Oh man, you can smell that cumin. You
Yeah.
really smell that cumin.
Yeah.
Well, don't make me look like the pig.
No, listen.
No pun intended, sorry. That was, wow. Sometimes I surprise myself.
I brought a side of the sweet plantains as well. Just to
Twist my arm.
So
Babalu.
Babalu.
How'd you come up with that name? Now to all of us, it's Desi and Lucy and...
Exactly. I mean, every time you watch I Love Lucy, you laugh and you cry and you're happy, and it's just emotions. And Babalu, I mean, it just, for me, I mean, the name Babalu, when you say the name, you want to smile. The meaning of Babalu, it's when Africans migrated to Cuba a long time ago, they weren't allowed to pray to St. Lazarus because of the religion. So they would pray to Babalu Aye, which when they would pray to Babalu, they would really be praying to the patron saint, St. Lazarus. One of the medallions that I wear on my necklace is St. Lazarus. So, I mean, it's funny how it's come full circle, that the name that I decide to open my restaurant after stands for something that I wear around my neck every single day. It reminds you of what's true at the end of the day, and it's a sense of family, and the kitchen, the restaurant business is family. And an unorganized, disconnected, crazy mess of a family, but that's the way families are. Babalu is family.
This is the Crazy Oyster. We are featuring all fresh seafood that comes from local waters, all simple fresh food in a wonderful atmosphere overlooking possibly the best view on Long Island. It's the greatest sunset with the view of Manhattan in the background. It's absolutely beautiful. So our intention was to make it a destination for families, for everyone to come and enjoy. It's a scene that would resemble something in the south of France, where you can dine. We have several venues that you can dine at, and you overlook in the water or you overlook in the beach. It's definitely magical out here. It's like a resort, which a lot of people are telling us, but you can do a lot on the, in one property. We have a few restaurants, you have the beach on one side, you have the Bay Beach on the other side. You can come up by boat. There's over 250 slips. You can come up by boat and visit us that way. You can drive up. We have live entertainment a few nights a week, every Sunday for sure. You can come and enjoy the band, music, cocktails.
Really excited. It's good to be back. It's good to see a lot of old customers again.
I came here because I've been eating these hot dogs since I was about 7 years old. I watched them build their house back on 111 from the hot dog stand, and these onions are the best.
You just made me very happy.
My dad was a World War II veteran. In 1963, he decided to open up a hot dog stand. He bought a model home. It was big enough that it had a huge parking lot so the customers can pull in and pull out. And since 1963, until the year we closed, we kept the tradition going.
Rose started this with the push cart on the corner of Islip Avenue and Spur Drive back in the day. The onions are the best. They're the best. Try it, come on.
8, 9, 10. Maybe a couple extra napkins for that chili dog. Enjoy.
The reason why we closed is the town only gave the permit to veterans. My dad was a veteran and my mom was the widow of a veteran. So once my mom passed away, they wouldn't allow us to carry on the tradition. I hope to keep it going for a long time. I hope to keep the tradition. As long as I can do it, we'll be here.
Burger's based off of proportion, with the amount of sauce to the seasoning to the thickness of the cheese cut, the proportion of the bun. Basically, we build from the bottom up. We use about 1.5 ounces of Rex sauce. Then we place a slice of tomato. We usually use Lucky's tomatoes 4x5, so it fits the size of the bun. The next one is the patty with cheese, and then in between we put a Vidalia onion raw. so it gives it a nice crunch, but it's also sweet. It doesn't have as much of a bite. I think that cooking is the only art form that I could think of that touches all 5 senses. You can taste, you can smell, you can hear, you can see, and you can feel it.
Thanks for watching Feed Me. For more great island eats, go to newsday.com/feedme. And for more episodes of the show, watch us on your computer, Apple TV, Roku, or any mobile device when you download the Newsday app.